Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retrocunion Collectors channel today, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Generation Selects GS21 Sandstorm. Now here he is, and here's his box, and it looks just like all the other Generation Selects boxes. It's just a cardboard box with the spray painted Autobot logo here, something right there. Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy. Open it up, and it has this really nice art on the inside here. This one is an older one, so it does come with a plastic insert, unlike some of the newer ones. We can go ahead and get that out of here, though. And here he is. So this is the Generation Select Sandstorm here. He is another use of the Earthrise Seeker mold, specifically that of the Earthrise Ramjet conehead Seeker. The same mold as the G2 Ramjet, which review for him will be right up here if you want to check that out. So this guy, not only does he have just this awesome like desert camouflage color scheme going on with him, he actually has a very cool story to this figure. This guy was never originally released. So in G1, I believe there was actually an Autobot named Sandstorm, but this is not the G1 Sandstorm, this is the G2 Sandstorm. And G2 had a whole group of figures that were planned and developed and stuff like this that were never actually released for whatever reasons. And this is one of them. This is one of the Seekers that they had designed and stuff that never actually saw the light of day. I believe there are a few of the OG G2 actual Sandstorms out there, but this toy was considered never released. So I believe that makes this Generation Selects version of him the technical first version of this Sandstorm, which is really, really cool in my opinion to have an unreleased toy that finally got released. And I think that's a really cool way to do it. In this guy, he looks absolutely awesome. I love what they're doing here. I personally like the wacky and zany colors of the G2 Ramjet a little bit more than this. This is more of a realism type thing with this camouflage going on with it. But nonetheless, very cool looking figure. He looks just like Ramjet and G2 Ramjet. He's using that mold, so he has, you know, the Delta wing look on his legs here and stuff. Very, very cool figure. We've probably seen this mold tons of times. It's, you know, you can change the colors on it and make it look totally different, but it's still the same thing. And I have no complaints about that because I love this mold. So, for articulation here, his head is on a ball joint, but mine is incredibly stiff, so I will not be turning it. It can turn, just mine can't. His arms, just like all the other Seekers, can do full 360. You just got to watch out for this thing back here. He's got a elbow bend, got a bicep swivel a little bit there. He also has this fist rotation here. And if you want to count it, you can aim his null raise too. No sort of waist articulation, unfortunately, due to transformation. How it all works in here, that's just not possible. You can fold this up and you can kick him out quite a bit. Kick his legs back, very small amount there. And you can kick out that far. He does have thigh rotation as well as a knee joint right here. And now I have shown in the past that you can kind of just unhook this and get it to bend further. But that is because this was actually mistransformed in my other videos right back here. I will show you that in transformation when we get there. Very, very simple fix. It does ever so slightly limit what you can do with the bending on the knee here. So if you want that slight bit more, you might want to unpeg this piece. But I will get there in the transformation guide when we get there. And then he also has anchor rocker joints and opposable toes here. Overall, pretty much just another Seeker. Very cool looking. He does have two accessories, just like all the others, which are his null rays. And these null rays have been painted, or actually just cast and tan plastic. There's no paint on them at all. Stick those back in there. Now we can get some comparisons with them. So here we have G2 Sandstorm, G2 Ramjet, G1 Starscream, G1 Skywarp, and G1 Thundercracker, if I can get him in there somehow. And these are not G1, these are just Earthrise, all of these, except these two are Generation Selects versions of these guys. And so now just to kind of show you this, they look great next to each other. I love all of these Seekers. Sorry, they're kind of getting cut off a little bit, but there's really nothing I can do about that. They look great, in my opinion. He definitely stands out on his own as being a rather realistic looking one. But still, when you compare all these guys together, I think they look phenomenal. I think he definitely holds his own as his own Seeker. But we can go ahead and get all of these guys out of the way. For our next comparison, we have Generation Select's G2 Sandstorm with Generation Select's G2 Ramjet again, and Generation Select's G2 Megatron. And now these guys also look incredible. I'm really digging all these little G2 repaints that they're making, and I definitely think that they look great on the shelf. I need to get me a G1 Megatron now, because now all I have is him and Shattered Glass. But I think these characters look pretty great, in my opinion. We can get these two out of here. We can go ahead and get him transformed now. And like I said, be sure to check out the transformation guide. That way I can show you what I discovered I was doing wrong with the leg back here. It's very simple. You just got to peg a little piece in that'll secure the legs a little bit better. That will be right up here. And in the meantime, we can take a look at him in jet mode. And here we are. Here is the Generation Select's Sandstorm here in his jet mode. Looking very cool. Now he has, excluding this part on the back of his legs here, which is kind of eye-catching a little bit, excluding that area, he has this really nice like desert camouflage all through him. They painted his little stabilizers tan and everything, looking really nice. And I showed, if you've seen my G2 Ramjet review, I showed that I don't like having the guns back here. I like them being up here. I, for some reason, like them better back here on this. With these colors, it just looks better back here. I don't really know why, but I prefer it that way. Very cool looking. He also has this shark nose up here on his nose cone, or shark face up here on his nose cone. This is something really interesting in my opinion. This was used, they did this a lot in World War II, and it's just kind of interesting that they put it on this guy here, being like a more 80s style jet. They took a visual motif from like the 1940s and threw it on here. Pretty cool. I feel like this coloration and the history of this doesn't really go together so well. I feel like they're kind of invoking images of two different conflicts here. But then again, I mean, doesn't really matter. It's a toy. It just looks nice. But overall, he still has that Delta Wing looking F-15 design that Ramjet and subsequently G2 Ramjet have. Very nice. I really like these Seeker molds. I've enjoyed every one I've gotten my hands on. For some vehicle mode comparisons, here he is. And here is Kingdom Wheeljack. Then next we got Shattered Glass Megatron. And just for fun, we have Core Class Soundwave. Kind of give you an idea of scale here. It's all look really nice. We can go ahead and get these two out of here. Kind of do a little size comparison with these two jet modes. So there we go. Kind of see how that works there. Megatron is much larger. Pretty much any way you hold him, Megatron is larger. But very, very nice looking nonetheless. Get him out of here. So we can go ahead and get him transformed back into his robot mode, and we can finish this video up. And here he is back in his robot mode. So to finish this video up, I really like this guy. I like the history behind him, how he's technically an unreleased G2 character, and then we got him finally here in, I think this came out in 2019 or 2020. Probably 2020. It was Earthrise, so probably 2020. But very, very cool. And I like the colors. I like the camo look that they did with it. I like the shark mouth on the nose cone. That's very cool. Historical little touch. I like that. Overall, a very cool looking Seeker. I would recommend anybody add it to their collection if they're trying to get all of the Seekers. Very, very cool looking. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you checked out that transformation guide and saw what was up with the legs, and I hope it helped you out, and I hope you have a good night.